Yeah, so the first thing that you want to do is braid your hair in a nice flat foundation. I went ahead and braided mine straight back so that I can reveal my scalp through the lace with my parting, and then I just did a normal beehive in the back and some zigzags on the side. Then you want to grab a dome cap. They're nice and stretchy, so they're going to be very nice and comfortable while you're wearing them, and they're easy to sew on and stretch when you apply your wig once your tracks are sewn on. Then I grabbed some old concealer. You can use either white eyeliner or anything that will create some lines. The reason why you're going to use this is to show your placement once you're ready to sew your lace closure on while it's on the wig head. So that way you know exactly where your lace closure needs to be placed. So I'm just going to do this on one side and then repeat the steps on the very opposite side. And once you are done, it should look just like this on and off of the wig head. And now that that's done, you're just going to go ahead and place your lace closure in between the lines where you drew your lines. And then I just took some sewing clips and attached them onto the wig head so that way my lace closure could stay in place for me, and that way it's nice and sturdy. Tie it up, put a little clip on it, and then you're going to be ready to sew. So I just did some normal sewing, nothing special. I'm just going to take the thread and loop it through, just going in and out and tying knots as I go along. So there it goes, I'm almost done, and you're just going to bring that all the way through until you get to the very edge of the other part of the lace closure, and go ahead and tie a knot in it, and this is exactly what it should look like. And what I do is just use my wand. I wrap the cord around the chair so that way I can use this to be secure, to secure my wig cap, and that way I can go ahead and sew the hair on without any hassle. So this is another trick that you guys can use if you do not have a stand. So you're just going to place that first track on there, you know, from one end to the other. Tie a knot at the end so it can make it nice and secure, which is what I'm doing now. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bring it back. So I'm doing the back and forth method. And as I get further up, then I'll go ahead and start cutting some of the tracks. But I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that these first two rows are nice and secure as I'm sewing them through. And here I am at the end. And now I'm just going to make sure that this is nice and secure. Tie a knot in it because you don't want your thread to come apart. So go ahead and tie a knot as you go back and forth, so that way you can make sure that the tracks are nice and secure. And then I went ahead and cut it. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the wig cap inside out, and the reason why I'm doing this is because when the wind blows, I don't want to reveal my tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and take the longest length. In this case mine is a 26 inches, and I'm going to sew that on the inside of the cap just as I did before. And then I'm going to take the shortest length and I'm going to sew the shortest length, in this case is my 16 inches, and I'm going to sew it on both the right and the left side, and that way when I'm walking or when I want to pull my hair into a ponytail, I'm not revealing the elastic of the dome cap and there will be no tracks showing. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean once I'm done, or maybe I'll even show it to you in another previous video. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. As you can see, I did measure them. Then you're going to measure the other side. Same thing, go ahead and sew it on. Make sure it's nice and secure. And again, I'm just doing the looping method, not doing any type of special sewing. And then you're just going to take the wig, your wig, and turn it back on the correct side, place it on your mannequin head, and then you're going to be ready to start sewing your hair. So I'm sewing the tracks pretty close together because I want my wig to be nice and full. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and start sewing the hair closer to the lace closure, so that way I can make sure that I can use that last length, and that's what I'm doing now. And this is exactly how close you should get when you're sewing your first track right next to the lace closure. Just place it right there next to it with no gaps and no spaces. And then just go ahead and fill in your sections, and you can put the tracks as close to you want or as far as you want, but in this case I decided to put them pretty close together. Now I'm just going to undo my braid, and my wig is complete. I'm just going to inspect it a little bit, make sure that there's no gaps, no spaces missing. and she looks pretty good. The highlights are looking very good. The curl pattern's looking very great. And as you can see, when I sewed the hair on the outside, there is no edges being revealed, no elastic being revealed, and this is what it looks on the inside. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut the rest of the dome cap, and you want to be very, very, very careful with this because you don't want to cut your lace. So if this is your first time doing this, go ahead and take your time, do it slowly, because we wouldn't want you to cut your lace. And then you need to cut the excess lace on the front. And again, do this very slowly if this is your first time and you're not experienced with this, because it's very easy to cut your lace. So take your time. And this is exactly what she looks like. I went ahead and did the elastic band method to make it a little bit more secure. The parting is nice. If you need to know what the elastic band method looks like, I'll make another video for you. Just leave me a message and let me know. So I'm just going to finger comb this. I didn't never use a white tooth comb or anything. I just finger combed it. And now I'm just taking some of my Hello Hydration conditioner mixed with water, and I'm just going to spray the hair and saturate it until it is nice and wet and the curls are starting to activate, so that way I can shape the hair and cut it to my liking and throw a few layers in there. So now I'm just scrunching it up so that way the curls can really form and I can know exactly what I'm doing and, you know, what I want to cut. So I'm just cutting some layers now into the hair, and it was 26 inches, but I decided that it was a little bit too long for what I wanted, so I'm just going to go ahead and shape it and play with it until I'm comfortable. And since I have a side part, why not do a little side bang, because straight hair is just boring. So now I'm just pulling it up, making sure it's nice and even, and just chopping away as I need to. And I'm just going to wet it a little bit more so that way I can make sure that I cut it properly and it's even on both sides. So I'm just going to cut a little bit more. I probably cut about 3 inches off of this. So yeah, it was no longer 26 inches once I was done with it. And there you have it. It's nice and complete. So I think it came out pretty good. I like it so far, and I'm just going to put a little bit of products in it. In my next video, I'll show you guys how I do my curly hair routine. So stay tuned, and I hope that you liked this video. I hope it was everything that you wanted to see, and I hope I was able to help someone.